So IMDB has an interesting bit of information. The new casting choices show that the new ladies are getting 10 episodes while the main cast is only getting 1. Let's discuss why that might be the case. Hey folks, welcome to the Geek Talk. Today, let's discuss the real reason the original creators left the Netflix show. Clearly, they didn't agree with Netflix's decision to give more screen time to characters like Azula and Suki over Aang and Katara. Nah, I'm just kidding. Clearly, this is a mistake on IMDb. Either generated by some fans who altered the site, or a simple mistake for whatever agent or producer listed these new casting choices on the site. But still, let's have some fun and play around with what a show like the current IMDb page would suggest would be like. And stick around until the end of the video to find out how I think the adaptation will really change after I get done goofing around. Alright, we are now in goofy mode. Everyone, I am not being serious from this point on. So, maybe Netflix wanted to take a drastically different approach from what the original show did. After all, we've seen them play fast and loose with a few other established franchises in the past, notably their anime live-action series. Perhaps they were just far more interested in the side characters of The Last Airbender than the main cast. In Netflix's version of the show, maybe we see the entire first season from the point of view of Azula. Perhaps we get the answer to why Zhao got all those promotions throughout the season, from lieutenant to captain to commander and eventually admiral within the space of a few months. Perhaps it was because Zhao didn't like Zuko just as Azula didn't like him. And that's the reason why she went ahead and pulled her strings and made sure that Zhao got as many resources as possible. So we could get all these little episodes of Azula having meetings with military officials, probably blackmailing them or threatening them just so that Zhao could continue hindering Zuko's progression as much as possible. This theory might be solidified even more, especially after the announcement that Mei and Ty Lee will appear in Season 1 of the Netflix adaptation, which can mean that they'd show up and help Azula in Book 1 instead of Book 2. On the other side of Suki and Kyoshi Island characters, maybe Netflix wanted to further develop that character, specifically Suki. I mean, to be honest, those who know me on this channel know that I find Suki to be a bit of a vanilla character, and I still don't quite understand her supporters. She's not a bad character by any means, but certainly not one worthy of such high praise. And perhaps someone at Netflix agrees with me, giving her 10 episodes so we can fully understand why she is so awesome. In fact, we might be getting more insights into the comic book she was featured in, Suki Alone. In it, we saw that she had a connection with Kyoshi to the point where Kyoshi's spirit manifests in her jail cell. For me, this made little sense. Sure, Suki was a Kyoshi warrior, but she never seemed to have any direct connection to Kyoshi. However, now that we have this new character in Yukari who is playing Suki's mom, maybe we will see more of a direct connection. What if it's possible that Suki is directly related to Kyoshi in some way? Perhaps a distant cousin or a direct descendant? After all, thanks to the Avatar extras, tidbits, and information, we know that one of the inhabitants of the island was named after Kyoshi's daughter, Coco. What we don't know is whether or not Coco was a biological child or not, especially after the reveal that in Kyoshi's young adult years, she was dating Rangi of the Fire Nation. But when you live 230 years, a lot can happen. Heck, it's even possible that Kyoshi outlived most of her children, if she indeed had them. Maybe Season 1 of Netflix's Avatar is actually a prequel to the Suki Alone comic, where we can expand on Suki's character and her possible connection to Kyoshi, with Aang and his friends just appearing as guest stars in the Suki story. And then we have Kana, also known as Gran Gran. Okay, I have no idea why Gran Gran would have 10 episodes all to herself. Oh wait, we do know that Gran Gran knew Hama the Bloodbender when they were younger. She actually watched as Hama got taken away by the Fire Nation. Perhaps these 10 episodes with Gran Gran is about her secret communication with Hama, who has been keeping tabs on Katara, who they both suspect might be a waterbender. Maybe there's a whole conspiracy of Gran Gran wanting Katara to learn bloodbending, and that's the reason she wanted her to go off and learn to eventually come back to avenge the Southern Water Tribe? I don't know. That last one was hard to come up with. That said, this is me not joking anymore. I do believe the Netflix adaptation will take some huge detours from the original show, and I do believe this is a big reason of why Brike, the original creators, left the show. We are seeing a lot of unique casting choices coming out, so much so that I think it's even possible we'll get Toph in the first season. But I'll talk about that more in my next video. But I want to hear from you all. If this IMDb image was actually for real, what kind of show do you think we would get? Suki origin story? Azula hijinks in the Fire Nation? Gran working in concert with Hama? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, peace, love, and remember, be water, my friends.